New York Times had a story that ran, I guess it was yesterday or maybe last night. I heard about it last night. Conservative talk radio stands by Trump despite turmoil. I didn't see the story. Snerdley sent it to me. Between the resignation of his national security advisor and the revelation that his campaign aides and other associates had repeated contacts with Russian intelligence officials, it's been a tough week for President Trump. But if his supporters on the right were beginning to doubt him, there was no sign of it on conservative talk radio, where Mr. Trump's contention that he was a victim of leaks and entrenched Washington insiders lit up the phone lines around the country. Then this. They quote me, but it's a selective quote, and they leave out the crucial thing in it, and that is what I was talking about. Here's the quote that they published. There is no evidence for the primary assertion that's driving this entire attack on Trump, Rush Limbaugh, the prominent host, said. This attack, continuing to quote me here, this attack is coming from the shadows of the deep state, where former Obama employees remain in the intelligence community. In another accusation, Limbaugh said they're lying about things, hoping to make it easier for them and the Obama shadow government to eventually get rid of Trump and everybody in his administration. And that's it. So they quote me saying there's no evidence for the primary assertion driving this, but they never mention what I identify as the primary assertion. So the reader is left to assume, and how many people reading this stuff actually thought, well, what's the primary assertion? They're just going to read it and absorb it. There's no evidence for the primary assertion driving this entire attack on Trump. So the reader is free to fill in the blank, whatever they think the primary attack is. What I was talking about is this. And then this is a purposeful omission. It has to be purposeful. The primary assertion that I dispute is that the Russians and Trump hacked the election, causing Hillary to lose. That is a fraudulent, phony assertion. There's no evidence. There has never been any evidence. They have looked. Turns out Obama has been investigating Trump since before the election on this stuff. Why, by the way, was he doing that? If they thought Hillary was going to win in a landslide, why were they investigating Trump? But they were. We've learned that in a news story today. Obama was investigating Trump and ties to the Russians as far back as early October. And the point I made yesterday was there is no evidence. The primary thing that fuels this, the energy that's fueling all of this stuff on Flynn, is that the Russians hacked the election and cheated and determined the outcome, guaranteeing that Hillary lost. I think it's kind of important, New York Times, if you're going to quote me, to put what I'm talking about in the quote.